gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I've got an idea.
Welcome. What's up, my people? Man, I'm so excited about this show, man. I can hardly contain myself. Man, listen, we are here at a special time, and we're gonna be doing a special time because we're gonna have some special people on this show. And guys, listen, when I tell you that this is going to be that type of show that you really want to sit down and you really want to take notes. I don't care if you're going to be watching it live or you're going to be watching the replay. This is definitely going to be the show that you're going to want to take notes, because we're talking about going to that next level. We're talking about your future. We're talking about your money. We're talking about your life. We're talking about things you need to be doing. We're talking about it all, and we're going to be and listen. I'm not going to be doing it by myself, because listen, this was too big for me. It was so important to where I solicited some help from some heavy hitters in the financial community. And now listen, I got my pen and paper ready, because listen, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to be a student in this game, because listen, I got some people that is really going to pour into you, and I'm so excited. I'm going to go ahead and bring them in. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. And let's see who we got. All right. Guys, welcome to the Power Podcast, man. I have none other than Mr. Sean Mitchell and Mr. Ernest Brothers, man. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now that if you can't tell, I'm gonna tell you that I'm super excited to have you guys, and it's definitely a blessing. And I know you guys are gonna share some things with us. So what I want you to do is introduce yourself. But I'm gonna tell you, just straight up that this is a real casual, laid back. I want you to speak from your heart, because what I believe, guys, is that this broadcast is going to change some lives. I really do believe that. And so let's just go ahead. I'm going to start with Sean, since he's right next to me. Sean, introduce yourself in the way that you want to do it. And then, JR, you right up next.
Hey, man, look, appreciate it, Eric. And you say I'm right next to you. It's like, where you at, man? On the screen, we right next to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a wonderful world of streaming, right? But, man, I'm Sean Mitchell. Been working in the financial service industry for 12 years now. One of the things that I enjoy doing is helping people out, educating people, and teaching people about financial services, whether it comes to investments or insurance or whatever. Man, I believe that I'm the educator, man. So I love to teach people, love to just break this information down for people can have an understanding where they can really participate in it. So that's me, brother.
Awesome. And Mr. Brothers, introduce yourself.
Okay, hey man, hey, I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you two great gentlemen tonight, man. Hey guys, my name is Ernest Brothers Jr. And guys, I've been in the financial services industry since 2013. Man, I was a guy that ended up doing more of a traditional route, meaning went the direction that my parents said, hey, go to college, get a degree, get a job, work somewhere 20 or 30 years, guys. And what ended up happening is, and all that stuff didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And I was introduced to an opportunity and an industry that I had never thought about being a part of, guys. And ever since then, man, just man, God is good. That's all I can say, man. So, hey, I'm glad to be here, Eric.
Oh man, listen, I'm glad to have y'all here, man. But I'm gonna jump into it. You know, I wanted to do this podcast because, man, I'm a black man just like you guys, and there. Listen, I just really do believe when we get together, man, we just things happen. You know, I believe that we are shifters. You know, I believe that we are it's in our DNA. I'll just put it that way. You know, when the black mind can just get together, and especially when black men can get together. So, you know, I titled this, real men, you know, buy life insurance, but I already knew that in this industry, you know, that men just in general just don't gravitate to it as when you compare to our counterpart, our mothers and our wives, and you know they seem. I think they see more to the future to it. So I'm going to get into it because I want you guys to break down some stuff. Remember, I want you to come just to how you want to come, but let's start out with just simple, man. Just telling us what is life insurance and why is it important? And Sean, you know what? Tell me, you start out with what is life insurance, and JR, you tell me the reason why it's important.
Okay, hey, great question. In our business, life insurance is basically your protection plan. You know, is your way of making sure that your family is protected, but they're protected financially. That's the conversation that's never really had. You know, nobody really talks about, hey, look, it's really a money thing. You know, it's the funeral is great, but man, we still need the money. So life insurance is your protection plan for your income to make sure that if you pass away tomorrow, your family can survive financially.
Now that's good. And JR, why is that so important?
Absolutely. I mean, Sean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's absolute just security, man. You know, life insurance give you opportunity to establish an immediate estate, meaning you can go from having a zero net worth to $1 million net worth instantly through your life insurance. Not necessarily net worth, but you can leave $1 million behind to the people that you care about. And so it's important. I mean, why is that not important? I mean, do you not care about the state of your family when you leave them? I mean, if you think about it, I think that anybody that dies without the proper kind of protection should have to magically have to somehow come back and see the mess that they created for their family. I mean, so why is it important? Because you have to have that plan, guys. You gotta leave behind at least 10 years worth of income and take care of some other key issues so that your family doesn't struggle financially and they can actually have an advantage going into the future as they mourn your loss, but then more importantly, get back to a new sense of normal. They got the money to make the adjustments that they need to make and not have to be thinking about that.
Man, I love that. You know, as I was preparing for this, I was reading some numbers, and I realized that in the African American community, if I'm quoting correctly, I know we in the I think it's at 52% of African Americans own life insurance. But then out of that 52%, they say 56% of us are underinsured. So and then I learned, which was alarming, is that most of us, and still this is in the African American community, miscalculate life insurance, the perception of it, overvaluing it about 300%. Okay. In other words, whatever it costs in the mind of an African American, they're thinking that it's going to cost 300% more than what it actually costs. So, guys, what do you think? What would you say is some of the common mistakes or misconceptions that you've seen, in the years you've been in the financial service business?
Go ahead, JR.
I'll jump in. With regard to purchasing life insurance in terms of mistakes, man, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Eric. People typically, what I'm hearing is people typically don't buy because they assume it's more expensive than it really is. And so you'll find people going out and focusing on just the burial, but not just that. It's kind of like it's been a lot of miseducation and misinformation in the industry, so much so that people only focus on one small element of their financial game plan as it relates to life insurance. But there's so much more than just a burial. Sean said it earlier. After the funeral is done and they're patting you on the face with the shovel, man, your family still got to live after that. And so people assume that a plan like that is going to cost so much, or folk haven't been educated to the point where they can just even know to ask those questions, which speaks to another situation. We need more financial service professionals in the industry educating people, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, you're right, because I'm glad you said that, because in actuality, the numbers suggest that that we are very under represented. Can I say it like that? In the community, and as I was researching this, I kept going back to who. Well, let me put it like this: I seen where. And Vicky, thanks for joining. Listen, for you guys that are out there, we're your questions or statements and comments are more than welcome. Make sure that you do like and share. It'll be greatly appreciated. And Vicky, yes, you're exactly right. Miseducation is definitely one of the issues here. So when I look at those numbers, guys, I see that we understand life insurance. We understand the concept of it. We understand that we need it. And then we also have to deal with the fact that at some point, we're getting bad information, because, I'm thinking, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking that we're dying just like everybody else, but we don't have a transfer of wealth like our counterparts do. Okay, so and I think that is an issue. So, Sean, let's talk about how should we properly purchase life insurance, because I think we got an issue with that.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. Hey, Eric, man, if it's okay with you, can I kind of go back to that other question and then add to this?
Absolutely.
One of the biggest misconceptions that I have seen from doing this over 12 years is that you said it. You said, hey, look, man, 52% of African Americans got life insurance, but 56% got the wrong kind or the wrong type of life insurance. And basically, man, what I've seen out there is that, again, it's a misrepresentation of the people that look like me and you out there teaching, but then those that are out there are strictly salesmen. They're not trying to help people out, and people need your help. Being in this business, if we sitting down in front of someone, 99% of the time, that person that we sit in front of, they want our help. And if we're not helping them, to make sure that they're properly protected, man, they're gonna lose. So they come with this, and you see it on YouTube, you see it on TikTok, that life insurance is some sort of gimmick, a game. I give you this, you're gonna get this. You buy this, and all these little things that you have to do. So what ends up happening is people get so screwed up in the head with the purpose. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
The purpose and the reason behind buying life insurance, that they either buy the wrong type or they don't buy it at all. And you're seeing a lot of people that's not buying it at all because they're saying, I don't trust that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody never taught me about it. So the misrepresentation, man, is clear. And like JR said, we need great people out there to be talking about this and to be teaching people and educating. Man, that's the reason I try to take more of an educational approach. But your other question was, Eric, you took it off the screen. What's that other question? What should we properly purchase? How should we properly purchase? So to properly purchase life insurance, to answer your question, man, we should be focused on 5 things. Okay. So if you got pen and paper, make sure you get ready to write this down, because I heard Eric say, man, you better have some pen and paper before you can write these things down.
Absolutely.
So here go the 5 things that you should focus on when you purchase your life insurance. You should be buying life insurance to pay for your death. Okay. Automatically, we know funeral got to be paid for. If you want to be in a pine box, that got to be paid for. Even if it got to be somebody to dig the hole to put you in, it has to be paid for. The second thing that has to be paid for is your debt. All your debt got to be paid off, man. If you're driving a Lexus right now, you dead tomorrow, your family riding that Lexus with you, you want to keep driving in that Lexus when you dead and gone. So that's your debt, right? Your student loan is your debt, right? Your credit card is your debt. Pay it off, because you or your wife will be short of your money, so you want to make sure they can pay it off. But then the third thing, which is very important, Eric, is that families got to learn how to replace their income. Okay, that's what the life insurance plan is really for. It's insurance on your paycheck insurance or income insurance, whatever you want to call it. But you need to be able to replace your income, like JR said, for 10 years.
That's good.
Because some people say, man, I got it on my job. I got job insurance. Job insurance may cover you for 1 year.
Right.
You should have a personal plan that's going to cover you for 10 years. But then also, you want to make sure that when you buy your life insurance plan, that your life insurance plan can pay off your mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, you want to make sure that you can pay for the rent for at least 5 or 10 years. But then the final thing is that you want to make sure that education can continuously be provided for your children. So we call it the DIME. D stands for death and debt. I stands for income. M stands for mortgage, right? E stands for education. Okay, it's called the DIME. D-I-M-E. Those are the things that you need.
Listen,
extra D to make it 5.
I love that. I love that. Guys, listen. That's the DIME method. And my list up question to those out there that's watching this, have you Bradley? Bradley say that's some great info. Hey, that's my man right there. So we're looking at the DIME. So my question to the people that's out there listening is did your agent sit down and talk about the death, the income replacement, which is huge, because when you're talking about 10 times your income, what that's telling me if your agent did the DIME and you said, okay, hey, that makes sense. Then if you were to pass away, black man, and your wife was left with the 4 kids and the mortgage and having to put the bill for education, then we know that with that DIME method, that responsible man have taken some pressure off. Okay, what's the better word? What's the better way to say that? Made life easy, because one thing I do know is that, man, if you're gonna have to suffer from the loss of that loved one, okay, but you don't want to have to continue to suffer on that financial loss. That makes sense. So when we start talking about income replacement, that's huge, because you got the way I look at it, guys, you got 10 years to where you can live off that income before you even think about going back to work. Okay, and your mortgage is paid off, and the kids' education is taken care of, and your debt is paid off. So I think that's huge. And what they say, what Vicky say, rag the man in your life. Yeah. So you know what? I think, Vicky, that's a message that every married woman needs to focus on. Every married woman, every mother. I remember, guys, when I this is a tag. You know what? I was gonna use rag too, but she meant tag the man. Okay. Hey, I was gonna roll with rag though. I was gonna roll with rag.
You can run with that.
I can roll with a K to JR. Yeah. Because really and truly, I just do believe that this is a conversation that that maybe the wife can't have with her husband. You know, maybe this is a conversation that it will take, you know, real men to have with other real men and say, hey, you guys, you know, I understand that you have that job insurance. I understand that you're looking for that, you know, to take care of your responsibilities. But you know what? That's not enough, and you need, you know, I say buy into the dime, you know. So
you hit on something just a second ago, not to get off track, man, but you know, talking about the lady in the relationship or the spouse or whatever, you know, getting back to the misconceptions or things that kind of come out, man. You know, most people don't even know how much coverage they got, period. Most people don't even know where to go to get their policy if someone's having. So my question is, you know, if someone's spouse, do you know how much coverage that you have?
wow,
That's a huge mistake that people make, is assuming, oh, my husband handle that, or my wife handle that, or my significant other handle all that. That's a huge. I mean, you kind of tapped on it a little bit, and so I just want to kind of pull that out, man, because a lot of times people really don't. We're so secretive when it comes to how we handle business a lot of times that it just got to be a conversation that's on the table so that everybody knows what's going on.
and Vicky say sounds like we need to do a dinner and dime event. You know, I'm loving that.
Great
Hey,
idea.
hey, that's a great idea. You know, hey, and Vicky, you're gonna have to host it now. I love it, man. A dinner and dine, man. I love it. You know, so guys, listen, I want to I want to just pause for a second, man. We're gonna do just a quick commercial. We're gonna be right back, okay?
Hi, my name is Eric Kirk. I'm the author of The Power 2, The Power 2 Workbook, and The Power 2 Planner. This is not just a planner, it's a journal and a devotional all in one. The Power 2 Planner is designed to keep you in touch with one another, also to maintain order and stay on task with the vision and the plan that was set for the family.
So grab your Power 2 Planner, your Power 2 Workbook, and your partner weekly and refresh and update one another on any plan changes.
Whether you're a newly wedded or a seasonally married couple, the Power 2 Planner is an essential tool to help you create oneness, balance, focus, and activate the Power 2 in your relationship.
All right. Guys, we are back. We're back. We are talking with Sean Mitchell and JR, Ernest JR Brothers. I call them JR. But we're talking with these guys, man. They have dropped some amazing nuggets. Let me go to the comments. The comments are coming in. Vicky says, let's pull this up before we go to the second half of the show. Say women need to let our men know that we need them to take care of us when they are not here. That is definitely Vicky and guys, I call it the final love letter. You know, what is that? What is that final love letter, men, that you want to leave your wife and leave your children? What is that? What do you want it to say? Do you want it to say 15,000, or do you want that love letter to say $500,000, $1 million? You know, I mean, what do you want it to say? Because I believe, and you know, this is just me, but I believe that the amount of life insurance you leave behind is a direct reflection on the love that you have for your spouse. Because if you really love them, then you're not going to leave them. And you know, I tell you this quick story. You know, I had a friend that I tried to get life insurance with, but they didn't want the life insurance. Fast forward, her husband passed away, left her with 5 kids, and I watched her go from car getting repoed. When she lost her car, she lost her job. Then I checked with her a couple of months later. You know, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm sitting here in the dark. Why are you in the dark? Well, my lights are out. Then I checked with her a couple of months later. Hey, how you doing? And well, I'm here at my mom's house. Well, why are you at your mom's house? Well, we lost the house. And every time I checked in with her, I remember her telling me that we good. We don't need life insurance. Go ahead, Sean.
So man, that's great what Vicky said. You know, dying without life insurance would devastate the people that's left behind. Devastation is worse than the word hurt to me. You
Mm.
know, you
Yes,
can
sir.
get over hurt, but man, when devastation comes, that's a whole lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? And it can devastate the people that's left behind. And so, I feel like, in a relationship or marriage, where you financially dependent on each other, man, it should be a demand that you have life insurance.
Absolutely.
And it's not because I'm an agent, it's because that we done seen it. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We know what's gonna happen. People like, you hear me say, well, check their credit score, see if they got good credit before you marry them, go with it. No, you want to find out who's responsible. Ask them,
Mm.
do they got life insurance?
Come
Ask
on.
that man, especially if you in your 30s and your 40s and you dating and you know your spouse or your new spouse or husband or whatever got a family, an ex-wife or kids. Ask, say, hey, you got life insurance? And man, that's how you gonna know who is responsible. That's how you gonna know, hey, that might be a for sure shot. When they say nah, or they say I got it on my job, or my mama got it for me, that's gonna let you know you need to run. You need to run
Man.
real quick. But
Yeah.
man, if you can ask them that and they say yeah, that let you know you're dealing with somebody that's responsible.
Man, now listen, you got over to my other hat in my relationship world because I promise you I'm gonna add that in because
You better.
that listen, hey, credit card is one thing, but I promise you that is a powerful question to ask. Do you have life insurance? What's your views on life insurance? Because if you answer that question wrong, you're setting up that. Listen, there's no need to move forward, when you already see red flags. And I'm going to say that's a red flag. If I was
Red
a
flag.
female and I talk to a male and he tells me that I don't see a value in life insurance, then why in the heck will I build a future with a person that don't see that type of value? Now that's just how I look at it.
Knowing they're
And
gonna die.
Vicky said, "How can this is a question, guys? Any of y'all can fill this one." Said, "How can a wife or a significant other start the insurance conversation?" And that could be an issue. Because I'm looking. I have been in houses, guys, where I set something. The wife was the point of contact. Husband comes in, hey, go to shake his hand, hey man, you gonna sit down, no, I'm not sitting down. That's something that he literally shut me down as if I don't want to partake in this. And I'm thinking, if he's doing me like that, then how must he be doing his wife like that? So guys, how do y'all handle that? How can a wife or a significant other have that conversation? But I'm going to say with a spouse that doesn't see the value of life insurance. JR, you got anything?
Sure. How do you have a question? How do you have a conversation with someone that doesn't see the value in something? You really can't. Because for other people, I always say that money is only an issue where in the absence of value. So typically, people have different ideas that they're hung up. So if you got a spouse, significant other that doesn't want to have the conversation about life insurance, it's because there's something that's not clicking right there, right? Because if you went and said vows to each other, and you said for better for worse, to death do us part. My thing is, do you care and love about your spouse or your children, or are you trifling? And if you're trifling, then how can you have a conversation with a trifling person? Because their mindset is set to just garbage, in my opinion. And so, how I answer that question, women, y'all know what to do. I don't got to tell you how to have a conversation with your man. I don't got to tell you how to have a conversation. Have the conversation, because when you want what you want, how to have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? So since you know how to have a conversation, have the conversation. But here's what you don't need to do. Don't call the insurance guy to your house and then try to have a conversation. Have
Mm.
the conversation and then invite the insurance guy to your house. So then at least you're both on the same page, because I've been like Sean, and been in someone's house, and then one spouse is completely unaware that there's a meeting going on, and we're talking about
Right.
life insurance and finance, and they're like, I just got off work working 16 hours, and you want me to talk to this guy? Who is this guy? Why is he in my house?
Right.
So my thing is, talk to you know what to say. In every other aspect of your life, you need to value this conversation. So for you to bring it to your spouse, you value the conversation more than they do, and make it a point. Impress upon them that this is a critical conversation. And so I recommend people, if it's one of these things where it's just not clicking, maybe just try using a feeling statement. I need you to get this. You start saying something using the words "I feel," and then talk to your man, then talk to your spouse, then let them know, I feel that when you won't talk to me about it, it makes me feel blank. Have a conversation and communicate. Don't just bark at each other. But it's not even that big an issue where just talk and do y'all know what y'all do.
Man, that's good, man. Because really and truly, if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying that it's a bigger problem, and it's probably showing up in other ways as well. Correct?
Yeah, if you there's some conversations that are off limits, or maybe you just can't communicate certain things. Yeah, that may be the symptom of something else. I mean, that ain't my specialty, but what I will say is this: I've talked to all kinds of people about life insurance, and some are reluctant to have the conversation. And what I found, that the people that are reluctant to have the conversation, it usually boils down to money, because they don't see the value. This is just one more bill. I want to talk about this right now. Everything is tight right now. I want to talk about this, man. We got mortgage due. I want to talk about this. Car payment is due, right? All this stuff. So men are going to tend to think about nuts and bolts, right? The logistics of things, right? Women, because it's funny when I sit down with a couple and I lay out a couple of quotes. The lady, not trying to. This is just the trend I've seen, guys. Right? So don't. So
y'all send all the emails, the DMs to JR now. Don't send them to me.
Yes, send it to me. I promise you, we can talk. I love it. But when I sit down with a couple, the lady is concerned with the face value, meaning they want the $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 plus policy. The man is looking at the dollar amount each month. He's like, man, that one say this and that one say that. And so then so you got to get on the same page about what's your money plan? Do you got a financial GPS? So there's a bigger issue that you need to be talking about, and is how do we spend money and how do we protect what we're working so hard to build and develop? Because once you get down to the nitty gritty and find out what's really the issue, because like I know, Eric, man, we can be talking. I read a book by John Maxwell, says most people talk, few people communicate. And so if I'm speaking Chinese, you're speaking Russian, it ain't you got to get on the same page.
Absolutely. Let me go through some comments here. Let's see. Vicky, man, she is amening what you guys are saying. I don't want to miss Bradley. He said definitely a deal. Now Bradley was talking about that man or that significant other that don't want to have that conversation about life insurance. He's saying definitely is a deal breaker if you are 30 plus and you don't have life insurance. I'm with you, Bradley. If you 30 plus years old, and really, nowadays, I'm looking at I want to say 25, man. If you don't have life insurance, then there's a disconnect somewhere. We got to really have a conversation. Now we do know that there's a scenarios where we get my mama, or my parents or my grandparents got life insurance on me, and that's another conversation. Paulette, hey, she's co-signing as well. True. Hey, I appreciate all the comments. I'm going to get back to these questions because we had to tail in. But Paulette, thank you for joining. Make sure that you share this out, because we still got time and we still want to get some questions in. But let's I want to go. There's a theory that when I first started looking at just life insurance and trying to make it make sense to me, and in all the stuff that I read, all the mentorship that I got, when I came across the theory of decreasing responsibility, it clicked. Okay. And so what I want you guys to do is explain the theory. Okay. And then but explain it in a sense to where how everyday life, every average Joe, it'll make sense to them. Okay. And now, Sean, let's start with you. I actually want both of you guys to touch on this. So let's start with you, Sean.
Okay, so the theory of decreasing responsibility basically works like this. How I had mentioned that, hey, your insurance is your protection plan. It's your income protection plan. That's what we got to get people seeking is your income. If you buy life insurance for your car, you can buy life insurance for your phone, right? Your car insurance is to replace the car, the phone is to replace the phone, right? Think about it. Just think about it. Just put it this way, is that you buy an insurance plan on your paycheck.
Mm.
Paycheck insurance to make sure that if you die, your paycheck gets replaced, right? That's all it is. So theory of decreased responsibility right now. You married, you got kids, or you single, you got kids. You own a home, right? You drive a car, right? Every time you get paid, that paycheck pays for those things, right? So in your early stages of life, when you got those responsibilities, you got that house, that car, that family to take care of, you need to purchase all the life insurance that you can. So that if you do die in that early stage of your life, your family can replace your what? Paycheck. Okay,
that's good.
Paycheck
That's good.
insurance, income insurance. You can't get it nowhere else unless you buy life insurance, right? But then also, you should be saving money at some point in your life, okay? Because two things going to happen. You either going to get too old for your job, or your job's going to get too old for you. Whichever one happens first, you got to have some money, Eric.
Right.
And so, throughout the process of your whole life, you should be saving money. So that when you get to that point, right, you catch COVID, can't go to work for 1 month, you got emergency savings saved up. You get to that point where, hey, look, man, I'm ready to buy me a home or buy me a new home. You got short-term savings saved up. You get to that point that, hey, look, I'm tired of this dang old job, or they done got tired of you. You got enough money saved up that you can do it. So that's the theory of decreased responsibility. Buy all the life insurance you can while you're young, and throughout the duration of your life, you should have a game plan to save money just in case your job get tired of you or you get tired of your job.
Man, that's good. That's pretty doggone thorough, man. JR, if there's anything you can add to that?
Hey, I don't want to take away from by adding to it, because Sean hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely.
Theory of decreasing responsibility is simple, guys. In the early years, think about your responsibility. Young children, high debt, or mortgage. A person dies in that stage of life. It's devastating for a number of reasons, but most of all, financially, because you lose the income of the primary wage earner. And so what ends up happening is, you think about it, in the later years, what's different? Your kids are grown, your house is paid off, your debt's lower. So now you don't need as much, income protection, because now you should be thinking about retirement. Right? Nobody wants to work until the day they die. But guess what? If you don't have a solid plan to make sure that doesn't happen, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. And so it makes sense to work on them both at the same time, because it takes time to build that kind of savings. It takes time to build financial independence. And so everyone needs to know what is that exact dollar amount. See, when I talk to people about retirement, particularly folk in our community, they tend to think about retirement as an age. Right? But retirement is not an age. Retirement is a dollar amount. It's a dollar amount, specific dollar amount that you've got to have saved to make sure that you never have to clock in again unless you just want to. And it'll last you until the day you die. And so that theory just helps us to understand how the needs shift throughout the span of life. And so you can prepare accordingly.
You know that Vicky's question is a perfect segue, to explaining or understanding, and you guys did an amazing job, on that theory of decreasing responsibility. But we got a question, and I think this right here is in the right place. Vicky says, and Sean, I know you ready to. Do you want to go on this, or you got something else you want to say?
I got you, Vicky. I got you.
Go ahead.
And I had this question asked of me yesterday. I was speaking with a group of people. So, always believe that it's a decision that has to be made. Okay. And it always should be your choice. It should be your choice. I can tell you what's better for me, but you got to say what's better for you. Okay. So this is how I'm explaining to you. Okay. I'm going to talk about something called funny banking. I'm going to tell you about a bank A, and I'm going to tell you about bank B. And you made the decision which bank you want to do business with. So Vicky and everyone else on here, you doing business with bank A. You deposit $100 every single month into bank A. Okay. Your first 3 years, you got $3,600 in this account. The bank is going to tell you, Vicky, that you cannot touch any of this money because it goes to maintenance and fees. Now, Vicky, this is the question that you have to ask yourself and everyone else. Is this rule beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? Bank B, same thing, $100 every single month. You got $3,600 in this account, right? They tell you all the money is yours whenever you need it. Vicky, based on this rule, is it beneficial to you to have all money belong to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? Again, it's your decision. You make it, whichever one you want to do. Well, bank A, rule number 2. You've been doing business with them for 4 years. They're going to start you a special account, and you're going to earn 1 to 4% interest on that money. Okay, but check this out, Vicky. If the stock market goes to 12%, they get the 8, and you only get the 4. That 4 is guaranteed, but man, they get the 8 and you get the 4. Vicky, you got to ask yourself: is that beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank?
That's good.
But then rule number 2, bank B, right? You've been with them for 4 years also, and they say, hey, look, we're going to let you earn interest from the gate on this account, and that interest is going to be 1 to 10% interest. Vicky, is that rule beneficial to you to earn 1 to 10% interest, or is it beneficial to the bank? So let's go to the third rule. Again, it's your choice. The third rule, you would bank A, right? Bank A says now, man, hey, look, if you need any of this money, Vicky or Sean, you can come and borrow this money. But here's the deal, Vicky. You're going to have to pay us back with 6 to 8% interest. But on top of that, Vicky, you can only get 70% of this money. If you borrow more than that, you're going to change the contract, and we're going to change the rules. Again, Vicky, ask yourself, is that beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? But then bank B, rule number 3 says, hey, look, man, if I told you in the beginning that this money is yours, and anytime you want this money, you come and get it. You don't have to borrow it, you come and get it. Vicky, again, is bank B, rule number 3, beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? Again, it's all up to you. It's your choice. But the fourth and final rule, Vicky, you're doing business with bank A. You're 65 now. You ready to get your money, right? You know, bought you a convertible Mercedes. You on your way to pick up that money, right?
Right.
You run a red light and you get hit by a car. You dead. Of course, you want your family to get that money. Your family goes to the bank, and the bank said, hey, look, we only had a contract with Vicky. We had no contract with you. So all we're going to do for you guys, we're going to give you all the money that Vicky put in the bank. But you remember that special account we made? We're going to keep that money. That money belongs to us. So Vicky, is that rule beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? You make a choice. But then the fourth and final rule, bank B, you 65 again. You in that convertible Mercedes again. You run a red light and you die again. And you want your family to go get that money. And bank B says, we told Vicky all this money belonged to her. Y'all come and fill out a withdrawal slip. My. Is that final rule beneficial to you, or is it beneficial to the bank? See, Vicky, what I just explained to you, I called it funny banking, but it's really how life insurance works.
Wow.
See, Bank A, that's whole life insurance, universal life insurance, burial plans, cash value life insurance. Any life insurance plan, they tell you can borrow money, infinite banking that you see on the TV, be your own banking, all that stuff is the same. So you got to ask yourself, is Bank A, is whole life cash value life insurance, is it beneficial to you or is it beneficial to the bank? Because everything I just shared with you, I can read it in one of those policies. But if you say, hey, Sean, what about Bank B? That's buy term insurance and invest the difference. You buy term insurance for protection. You remember we talked about paying for the death, paying for the debt, right? Replacing the income, paying off the mortgage, provide education for the kids, right? That's term insurance. You have to ask yourself again, is that beneficial to you or is it beneficial to the bank? And so that's how those are the differences between those two types of life insurance, but that's how you make your best choice. Is it beneficial to you or is it beneficial to the bank?
Oh my. Boy, I want to shout. Hey,
Man,
listen,
shout.
guys. Man, that was a perfect. And look, I'm gonna tell you what. It's a couple of things that I got that I want to piggyback off of. One, I love the fact that you, you educated, you gave a choice, and that client made their own decision. Yeah, and I love that because I remember right when I got married, 19, 20 years old, something like that. My mom said, listen, I called the insurance guy and I told him you was coming down, go down there, ask for such and such, and get you some life insurance. You need to have, you got a family, so you need to have it on your own now. Me being a son that follows his mother's instructions, I got in that car and I drove down to that office and I sat and I remember this big old table, this big old desk. I mean, pretty old shiny wood, and I remember them having, two big old computer screens, and I remember them giving me 3 choices. They gave me 3 choices, guys. But then here's the thing. I did not know I was choosing between 3 cash value policies. I didn't know that until I started doing insurance, to where I realized that they didn't give me a choice at all. They just they sold me what they wanted me to have. And basically they were saying, listen, I'm going to get you into a cash value policy regardless, because I know you, young black man, you have no clue what I'm talking about. Your mom listen, I love my mom and I ain't mad at her not one bit, but she did not know what she was doing when she sit me down in front of those guys, because those guys were supposed to help her son. And I did not realize what they was doing until I got educated and said, you know what, I'm getting rid of this and I'm going to get me something that makes sense. And I got a term policy. Guys, listen, and Paulette says, I know that's right, Vicky. That's right. She said, I want to get but Vicky said, I want my family to get my money, not the bank. And Paulette said, yep, I know that's right. And I agree with that, because it really makes no sense, guys. So listen, we are at the end, guys, and I wanted to, this has been so good. And I'm going to just go ahead and say this. I don't think this should be the last time. Okay. I really want to do this again. I think that this is something that our community, needs to have, so, y'all just pray about it, and we'll talk about that later. But I just wanted to go ahead and say that right up front. Okay. And let's see. She said, that's right. Only if our parents knew the truth back then. And listen, and I promise you, Paulie, I am not mad at any of them, because they did what they could do with the information that they had. Okay. And now it's our job. It's our job to go and educate. And like the guys said, that we need to have more agents, because there's still young black men and women that are getting sent down to the insurance office by their parents, and they're being sold what that agent want them to have. And guys, I don't think I'm wrong if I say that they are money motivated on that sale. Okay, I think because that's a whole nother conversation. The conversation, Bigger said, the conversation is needed. So guys, let's put a wrapper on this. Let's do this. Why do real men, why do real men purchase life insurance? And Jr. Hit that for me. Why do real men purchase life insurance?
Well, real men purchase life insurance because in the morning they understand, they about their business. They understand that it's, it's less of a feelings oriented decision, and it's more of a business decision where you can, you can position your family. So I believe everything in life is about positioning yourself. So a real man wants to position his family for financial gain, prosperity, to begin to build and create a legacy and transfer to the next generation. And if that's what you're about, if you want the best for your family, your spouse, your children, there's no way you can spell LOVE without life insurance. So, I like to tell people this, you say you love your wife, you love your husband, put it to the love test. Show me what your insurance plan looks like. Let me see how much they really love you and if they'll put their wallet where their mouth is. So men purchase life insurance because that's what love looks like in the financial.
Man, I love it. I love it. Man, don't go nowhere because I still want you to put a closure on this. Sean, why do real men purchase life insurance?
Hey, man, it's our responsibility. It's not life insurance. It's something that you need. It's something that you gotta have. You gotta have it. If you got pay more on your car insurance than your life insurance, shame on you. But man, Eric, I've been sharing this with people, man. We black men, and I'm glad that we came up with this. We're the only species that walks on 2 legs or 4 legs that every second of our lives, we are endangered to die.
Wow.
Okay. And I hope I can share this. Okay. You let me know if I can. Okay. Every time we literally blink our eyes, Eric, we can die. Okay.
Yes.
A white man may want to kill us, right? A policeman want to kill us, right? A Mexican man want to kill us. Another black man want to kill us.
Yeah.
And we kill ourselves because we don't take care of our bodies and we eat all type of crap.
My.
So every time we blink our eyes, JR, we can die. We the only species that got to keep our head on the swivel, looking out for death. And so if you have a black man in your life, you know what I'm saying? If you got a black son, a black brother, a black uncle, a black brother, cousin, your husband, if you got a black man in your life, you better have some life insurance on it. It ain't no think about it or should. You better have life insurance on him because he's gonna die. That's obvious for all 3 of us is on here right now. Absolutely. We're gonna die, and it's gonna be by one of those 5 ways.
Wow.
So that's why every black man should have life insurance.
Well, I tell you, man, that's a sobering but real talk, and man, you don't get more realer than that, guys. So once again, I want to thank you guys. I'm looking at the chat, man, and I know just based on the responses, that this was well received. I know that that our community is underrepresented, and I believe that we have to do whatever we can, just to put this message out, but before we leave, Jerry, I'm going to start with you, and I want you to put a wrapper on this, and And once again, however you want to do it, also if you want, people to reach out to you, because guys, listen, each one of these guys are licensed, like legit licensed to help you. Whether you die too soon or live too long, they can help you. And to me, this is like the altar call, and the doors of the church is open, and I don't want anyone to leave here without a way to salvation. Okay, let me start with that. But I got on the roll. But Jr. Man, give us your closing thoughts.
Okay, hey guys, man, been a pleasure being on the podcast with you guys today, man. Listen, it's all been said, um, get your household in order. Sometimes you don't get a second chance to do it. So I know we talk about why do real men purchase life insurance, but guess what? I don't want to stray from the conversation, but you got some women operating like men, right? Because guess what? It's just you. Make sure you get your household in order. Why? Because there's no Spider-Man, Batman ain't for real, Superman ain't coming to save your family. So financially, before that catastrophe strike, life is going to happen. It ain't got to be a black or white issue, but you know what? If all you believers out there, it says once appointed man to die, and after death is the judgment. And since that is the case, we might as well make sure that our affairs in order. And you know what? Get some help with that. Get off TikTok and stop looking for expertise from people who aren't even licensed, and contact one of these guys on this call that's licensed today. If you have questions, guys, I'm easy to find. Ernest Brothers Jr. my name. I'm here all day long. You can look for me on Facebook, or you can hit 256-263-9828 if you have questions. But these other two guys are qualified to answer your questions as well.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it. And man, what an honor to have you on this podcast, man. Sean, put a closure on this, man, and bring it just the way you want to bring it.
Hey man, appreciate that. Hey man, it's always great to be around the great, we call him Captain Kirk in the office. I call him real talk, man, because man, when he talk, man, he always speaks to your heart, man. Just a genuine guy, man. I just always took to him, man, since I met him. Me and him got licensed around the same time, so we've been doing the business, been in the insurance business for about 12 years, 13 years, something like that. But I appreciate you thinking about me, man. And of course, man, we know Ernest Brother, man, just a powerful guy. He holding back on us, man, right now. I guess he's trying to be cool, but man, he been jumped on the table and did a sermon in a few minutes, man.
I was halfway waiting on it, man. I was trying to clear him up, man.
I'm trying to respect the time.
But man, hey, look, man, the only thing I can say is, man, make that last love letter the best love letter you ever written. Life insurance is not a game or a gimmick. You can't play with it. But then you can't wait until it's too late. A lot of times we meet people that say, let me think about it, or we'll get back with you, and then think about it, and then get back. It's too late. And what makes it too late sometimes that we're not aware of is that sickness comes. The bad case of diabetes. I'm not saying that if you got diabetes, you can't get life insurance with diabetes. I'm talking about when you start having to take that insulin, things change. You see what I'm saying? When you got cancer, things change. When you had that heart attack, things change. So, make life insurance something important. Get you something. But we always say some oatmeal is better than no oatmeal. So, man, just an honor and a privilege to be on here, man. And thank you for the participants. Great questions. Vicky, man, I appreciate you guys asking questions. But hey, look, man, the best way to get in contact with me, man, you can find me everywhere. If you ain't ran into me, you're going to run into me one day. But again, my name is Sean Mitchell. Man, my moniker online is How Money Work with Sean. Hashtag How Money Work with Sean. Also, you can find me on Facebook up under the name of Sean Mitchell. On Instagram, How Money Work with Sean. My phone number It's 256-975-0825. I'm gonna say it again. It's 256-975-0825. Feel free to call me or text me. We do virtual meetings, so we make it easy. If you COVID conscious, then we could jump on this camera. We can answer any questions that you may have. Also, my email address is S as in Sean, a period, Mitch, MITCH, 252 @yahoo.com. I'm gonna say it again, the S, a period, MITCH, 252 @yahoo.com. Man, hit me up anytime and let's talk about business.
Man, awesome, guys. Listen, man, let me do some house cleaning. The Power Podcast. We'll be back. We do this podcast weekly on Sundays at 7:00. This was a special edition because I wanted to make sure that I had these gentlemen on. But we will be back the same time. We'll be back at 7 next week. Let me get this. Let me do this last comment because we got time. Bradley said masterclass. Okay, so we got the dinner and dime, and we got a masterclass. Hey man, hey Bradley, I'm kind of digging that. I'm digging it. But guys, listen, our time is officially up. Thank you guys for joining the Power Podcast. I will see you back. Look, JF said there's no Batman, so I can't say the same Bat channel. I can't. He done messed that up. There ain't no Batman. He's not coming to save. But we will be back next week, man. Be blessed. I'll see you next time.